going to do is we are going to take this scatter plot, this table, and we're going to make it into a scatter plot. Okay, so if you notice on your paper, I have it written out for you step for step how to make a scatter plot, as well as the picture that goes along with it that tells you what to do. Okay, so it has a picture showing you what it should look like, and it tells you the step. Okay, and I'm going to have my calculator out to show you how to go about it. All right, so the first thing says go to second and then stat plot. Okay, so you're going to press the second button. And then you see right there where it says stat plot, press that button. And you have to make sure that plot 1 is on and all the rest of them are off. Well, plot 1 is off. So how to turn that on, you just make sure it's highlighted 1 and press enter. And now it takes us to plot 1. And you see how the on is flashing, but the off is the one highlighted black? That means it's off right now. So to turn it on, just hit enter on the on. Now notice how the on is black. So that means this plot is on. And then you want it to make a scatter plot. So where it says type, make sure the scatter plot's highlighted. It should already be highlighted. For your X1 list, it should say L1. Y list, it should say L2. You can change what kind of marks you want it to put. This puts like little squares for the points, or you can change it to points that kind of look like a cursor, like a plus sign, or you can change it to where it's just a dot. It's completely up to you which one you want to do. If you want it to look more like what your graph would look like, I would change it to this one here to make it look like a point. Okay. All right. And then if you want to make sure that plots 2 and 3 are off, or if you need to turn them off, you just go up and then go over to plot 2 and hit enter, and it should be highlighted off. And then to get to plot 3, you go up and over to plot 3 and press enter and make sure it's turned off. And hopefully, since we reset it, everything should be turned off. All right. Number 2. Says go to Y1 and clear any functions. So right here where it says Y equals, press that button. And it should have like Y1 equals, Y2 equals, Y3 equals, and so forth. There should be no functions in here. If there's functions in here, you just hit clear and move down and keep hitting clear until you get them all cleared out. Okay. Is there anyone that would like for me to repeat anything that I've said so far?
How do you get on that?
You press Y equals. Don't hit second, just press Y equals. Okay. Now it says number 3. It says go to stat and edit. So you see this button here that says, let me make this a little bit bigger. You see this button here that says stat? You need to press it. And this says edit. So number 1 is edit. So hit enter. Here's where you make your table. L1 is your X values. And if you want to put that out, me personally, I would write that on here. For L1, that's your X values. And for L2, you're going to type in your Y values. Now, it's important that you put them in order. Like if you put, the first X value should be the same ordered pair as the first Y value. Okay, so if your first ordered pair is 1, 2, your first X value should be 1, your first Y value should be 2. All right, so let me go back over to the table. And first I'm going to look at the X values. My X values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. So in your calculator in L1, type in the, let me back this away a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, type in the number 1 and press enter, and it'll put 1 there. And it moves down to the next line so you can type in your next number. So then the next number was a 2, and then press enter. Every time you need to enter in a number, you got to press enter to enter it into the table. Then you press 3, enter, 4, enter, 6, enter, 7, enter. So those were the X values.
I just have the down arrow and that also.
Yes, the down arrow will also work. Okay. Once you have all of the X values entered in, you have to make sure and press enter after the 7. Now use your arrow and go over to L2. And now you need to enter in your Y values in the same order. So I need to go back to my numbers, and I'm going to write these numbers down because they're a little bit harder to remember. They are 11, 18, 32, 52, 73, 82. It's very important to double check yourself because if you type one single number incorrectly, it's going to mess you up. So make sure you double check everything. So the first number that went with 1 was 11. So 11, enter. 18, enter. 32, enter. 52, enter. 73, enter. 82, enter. And I'll give you a moment to finish typing those in. Number 4 says, then go to Zoom. Right here is Zoom. You press Zoom. So go to Zoom, press Zoom, and then you can either type in the number 9 or you can scroll down to 9 and click enter. That's on Zoom Stat. What that does is it automatically makes your window fit your data. Like you don't have to guess, what do you need to make your that window. It does it for you. So go down to number 9 and press enter. It says it makes it a friendly window. And there's your scatter plot. You went to your stat plot, and I want to show you what it would look like with a different set of things. That's what it would look like with the cursor. See how the points are a little bit bigger, so they might be easier for you to read. Or you can go to stat plot and go to the first plot and change it to the squares. And it makes them into squares rather than those small points. So that's just you completely personal preference, which one you want to do. Okay. All right. So far, what questions do you have for me on how to do a scatter plot?
Can we just start doing this on we have papers and stuff?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
That.
Okay, let me bring your calculator to me and let me see what it's doing.
It just made a graph it.
Okay. The second stat plot. Oh, that's because you didn't turn plot 1 on whenever we were turning it on. Hit enter, and then just hit enter, and zoom right. There you go. You're welcome.
Not quick.
Or
Enough when I look at this.
all right. Go back over to your notes. Now that we know how to make a scatter plot on a calculator, let's talk about the line of best fit. We've been doing lines of fit, which means a line that represents the data. But we want to do the line of best fit, like what's the best possible line you could draw. And this will cause everybody to have the same equation for the line of fit. So the line of best fit is a precise equation or a precise line that represents data. So it's a precise line. Whenever you do that, there's only one line of best fit. There can't be a bunch of different equations like we've been getting when we do it ourselves. This will give us the best fitting line. It's the line that best represents the data. All right, so what a calculator does is it uses linear regression in order to find the line of best fit. And I have the pictures written out of what we should do. Okay, so we're going to use that same data table, this same data table that we already used. We're going to use that. So let me write that here. Press stat. So press stat to get to this screen. And see how it has edit highlighted and number 1 highlighted? Make sure that's highlighted and press enter. It should bring up your table from before. If you need to enter in a different table, then you would type in a different table. Okay. Once you get this part, once you get your table entered, like we did before, but we've already done this part, now, see how it has, press stat again. Once you get your table entered, press stat. See how it has calculate highlighted? Hit over to calculate. See where it says calculate? And then see how they have number 4 highlighted, linear regression, ax plus b? Go down to number 4 and press enter. Okay, so let me show you that again. Press stat, over to calculate, down to number 4, and press enter. Then your next box. It shows you what your screen should look like. It has linear regression ax plus b at the top. Then your x list is your L1. That's saying that your x value is the L1 table. Your y values are L2. Just press calculate. Press calculate. See how it has y equals ax plus b? That's, m, it's usually mx plus b, but they use a. Look at this one here. A is your slope. B is your y-intercept. Is your slope, B is your y-intercept. So this equation for this table would be y equals 12.5x minus 3.3. Let's do it negative 3.3. So let's round to 1 decimal. Do what? Yes, this will always give you decimals. You could also, but you can round. You can, if the numbers are huge, like in the hundreds and 20s and 50s, I would round to the nearest whole number. If the numbers are small, like within 0 to 15, I would use to the first decimal place. But if they're big numbers, round to the nearest whole number. If they're small numbers, round to the nearest decimal. Okay, so notice that just gave us our equation for our best line of fit. So go to y equals, and see where it says y1 equals, type in 12.5x.
How do we put the x?
This button right up here where it says x, t, theta, n, it's right beside alpha. Press that button. And then minus 3.3. Make sure you hit minus and not the negative.
I did not see that button.
You're speaking green.
So 12.5x minus 3.3. And then type in graph.
Wait, I just typed in 12.5x. You know what I do?
Minus 3.3. So y equals 12.5x. And then the minus signs are over here above the plus sign, right there. 3.3. And then press graph. It's up here at the top.
Oh, okay.
There's your scatter plot along with your line of best fit.